amongst each other.
It will not be a love fest. It will not be
the protesters are going to love
They're
that.
going to love the media. That's what they want. They want their name.
For.
They want their picture. Look, we're not putting him in Castle Rock, okay?
Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't bother me. And secondly, this is in federal court as of this morning, and by the time this show airs, that issue will be resolved one way or the other.
Is it right? I mean, you got to do this wonderful balance, and we get a judge. So glad you're.
I didn't call the judge. The ACLU did.
No, but the point is,
they brought it to federal court.
But I mean, the city has to decide on this free speech zone, the freedom cage. Is it a good idea?
Oh, what are you going to do? Let them come into the convention?
No, but can't they, as they're outside the convention, can't they walk up to people and give them a leaflet?
Again, the delegates will be able to approach them. They're going to be allowed bullhorns. And
I'm so looking forward to this.
Are you going to get in the freedom cage, John?
All right. No, I'm going to taunt them. I'm going to be on the outside.
Reverse zoo.
Exactly. The judge gonna change this? You don't?
I have no idea. I was there this morning for about an hour and a half. Could not get in the courtroom. Then went downstairs and saw it on the closed circuit. But I can tell you, you could feel the tension in that room this morning. Because there were, shall we say, fans on both sides. It was the Broncos versus the Raiders.
And which one were the Broncos? Oh, the city was. Got it. What are you looking for as a surprise? What should people who are witnessing this be prepared for? As somebody who wants to watch it on television, they're happy it's coming to the city. I've got a lot of friends who say, I am leaving. I'm getting. Too. Do you?
I'm
absolutely. Leaving. I'm not going to be in Denver during this. I don't want to be around when the tear gas canisters open. And even if they don't, I don't need 60,000 people coming around downtown. What should they expect?
Well, I mean, I think the biggest political question is the vice presidential nominee. That's one, and the Republican National Convention following right on the heels of it. So those are just two big stories that are out there. I think from a Denver perspective, you're looking at Invesco on Thursday night, and then you're looking, did anything happen in the 3 days preceding that complicates that? And Invesco, the question which the mayor really maybe doesn't know the answer to yet, but whether they're going to shut down I-25 on Thursday night at all to accommodate for security reasons, or
it comes so close to the.
How can they shut down I-25?
or close a lane, or I think there's some analysis of could you have or should you have this major thoroughfare so close to the venue where you've got the presidential nominee.
So let me see if I get this. Obama wants to make a wonderful populist statement, and then I can't drive down the highway because of it.
Well, the Obama campaign.
Mind you, I also complained when Vice President Cheney closed down the highway as well. I mean, it's like, come on, guys. The rest of us have to get to work.
Well, I don't think the Obama campaign wants that to happen. I think the question is what the security officials decide.
The closer you get to the Pepsi Center and to Mile High Stadium, if I may still call it that, the Secret Service is going to take over security. And they're going to work in cooperation with Homeland Security and the Denver Police Department, but it's really the Secret Service that controls security around those two venues.
The mayor said if he had to do it over, he wouldn't do it, and then quickly took that back. And what a shame that would be. So let me ask you, Mr. Elected Official, it's a month before the big event. If you had to do it over again, would you?
I'm having second thoughts.
I'm not talking about your marriage. I'm talking about this.
Well, no, I'm having. I'm wondering. You can feel the tension at City Council. You feel it around the mayor and the mayor's staff. And people want this over, and I think that they got.
Do you want it over?
Absolutely. I just get this thing over. It is dominating the summer in Denver. I don't know how much work we're going to be able to do as a council and as a city, because it just dominates everything.
When it comes to the regular business you do, and who knows what you do there, but I'm sure you do something. Are you able to get
good?
Are you able to get that stuff done? Has this really impeded on regular city business?
But it's just like a cloud hanging over everything we do. And I mean, we're still having public hearings on a variety of issues, zoning issues, you name it. But it's there, and it's there all the time.
I'm worried about the lingering effects that I know the media will leave at the end of this, that the nation's attention will go someplace else as it does, but there could be lawsuits, there could be protesters, there will be arrests, there could be damage, there will be all sorts of things that we're going to have to clean up, and it could take us years to clean up.
And the mayor's going to have to be accountable for that. The other issue is the mayor's made the statement that we're not going to spend one dime of taxpayer money on this convention. That could come back to haunt him. But that's the pledge that he's made, and I and other council members are going to hold him firm to that.
Well, let me ask you, has a dime of taxpayer money been spent? How can it not be? When I asked the council member from Lafayette, and he said, well, yeah, we spent a lot of time in negotiations, which we won't be reimbursed for. Well, that's
time.
That's time.
Right.
That's tax dollars these guys could be used doing something else. So obviously it's causing tax dollars.
Who's going to pay to clean up after the parades? There's going to be a parade every day. Who's going to pay to clean that? Who's going to pay to clean up our parks? You know, can we use some of the $50 million to do that? I don't know.
Well, it's the same. I mean, here's a historic corollary is when Colorado didn't go for the Olympics in the 1970s, right? So in retrospect, was that the right thing to have done, or would we have preferred to have done it and suffered whatever?
My guess is, you ask most Coloradans, and I remember that fight, and that's what made Dick Lamb a real superstar and brought him to the governor's office. I think most Coloradans agree it was the right thing to not do it.
To not do it.
Would you guys agree?
Well, I don't know. Salt Lake, they had their problems. And by the way, Salt Lake generated about 10,000 media. We're up to about 17,000 media members now. So we're 7,000 ahead of the Winter Olympics in Salt Lake.
Right. And that's the other, when you say what's the thing to look for, which is how that media, that intense media scrutiny on a city the size of Denver, what they write about while they're here and what the takeaway is. And that's what's Denver known for out of this convention.
I would add that so far, very positive reviews in terms of the magazines, stories that magazines we would never be in. Now we're being hit, however, in the New York Times and the LA Times about how we're trying to operate this convention, whether it be the no fried food,
no fried foods, colors of the food you need to have, and the daisies. Tell me about the daisies. Where are our daisies?
They're still in the ground.
They're still
they did not come. And this is in celebration our 150th anniversary for Denver. And about 2/3 of them did not come up, including mine. And I've been a gardener for 40 years.
All right,
no, they were helped by Key Bank.
All right, Key Bank. All right, so good investors at Key Bank. All right, so when everybody walks away from this, let's put out the prediction right now.
Well, I think some political careers are either going to be made or broken out of this. That's my guess, and I won't hazard any names.
Could this be the deflowering of Hickenlooper if this goes badly?
I'm not going to go there.
Is it a possibility?
I think that's the High Wire Act that they went into it with, and I think that's to their credit in a sense that they're willing to.
My guess is that the buildup of this is not going to be nearly as big, or it's going to be much bigger than the bang. I guess this is going to go pretty smoothly. I think we're going to have some problems, but who knows? Gentlemen, thank you so much. We'll talk about it again. Tell a friend about the Independence Institute. Listen for me late nights on 850 KOA, and we'll see you next week. You jibber jab, bamboozle, nuka, noozle, bippity bop, she-gall. You jibber jab, bamboozle, nuka, noozle, bippity bop, she-gall. I mean, you keep on talking, but you don't know where to turn it.